Okay, so right now I don't have anything like appended to her just yet, so we're gonna start like from scratch with like everything. So I'll go over how to make sure that the clothes follow the character, along as like hair and accessories, and then shoes, and then I'll also show you how to do tattoos. Okay, so this is how like I have it set up for when like after like I re-rig her with Auto Rig Pro. I have everything sectioned off, so you want to make sure that like the first collection that it creates is going to be like for the character itself, and then like the character one rig collection is where like the rig and like the body, eyes, and like all that stuff goes. You want to make sure when you're appending something into the scene, you want to make sure that you click on character one rig first, and then you'll do file, append, and then whatever clothing item you want on your character. After that, you'll sculpt it to the character's body, and then from there, you will click on whatever item it is that you want to append, well, not append, but like attach to the character. So you'll click on, like for instance, the top, and then you'll hit Control and then Rig, and then in this space here, you'll hit Control P, and then you'll do empty groups. And then so now instead of it being out here, it's going to be underneath the rig. And so you'll click top again, and you'll go to the modifiers tab. From here, you'll do a data transfer. Make sure you put this at the top. You don't necessarily have to, but I do that just to be on the safe side. For your source, you will go to object and then to the CC base body, and then you'll hit vertex data and then vertex groups. And then for mapping, you'll click on the drop down menu, and then you'll go to nearest face interpolated. From there, you'll hit generate data layers, and then you'll go to apply. And now you will do that for all pieces of clothing. For actually, no, I'll take that back. You'll do that for all pieces of clothing and accessories, but it really depends on the accessory itself. And I'll explain that more once I get to the armbands. So I will continue the same process. The skirt, control on the rig, and then hit Control P with empty groups. You don't necessarily have to do this one by one. If you have like for clothing items, you can like do all the clothing items, like select them all, and then hit Control on the rig, and then Control P, and then empty groups. And it'll work that way as well. But just for the sake of this, we'll just go one by one just to keep it easier. And then so you'll hit data transfer again, and you'll have to data transfer for all clothing items, and you'll have to go through the same process and whatnot. Make sure you hit generate the data layers. And so now we have that done. The left and right, these are for the armbands, and then so I'll do the same process for those. So sometimes the creators will have them rigged, and so what you'll do, if you see an armature one, go ahead and hit apply, and then for this one, make sure you hit rig, but keep it. Don't delete it, don't apply it, just keep it, because you're gonna need it basically. And then so the same thing for this one, I hit apply, and then I hit rig. And then so for these, I'll make sure this right here, I'm not even gonna worry about it. I'm not even gonna worry about it. Okay, and then so for this, I'll do data transfer. I'm not sure why it's not letting me put this at the top. Okay, it's whatever, it's fine, it's fine. And so we'll do that. And then the right one. All right, and then I'll do the shoes the same way. So these are the shoes that I have on her right now, just for an example. And I'll go over like shoes and whatnot, because sometimes you have to finesse the shoe depending on how the shoe is. Like, it's never going to be a perfect fit because, you know, it's not a Sims character. So for shoes, like, you just kind of have to finesse it. And I'll get to that portion like in a minute. And so for the shoes, like, it's easier if you have it in the Sims 4 pose and then you put a Sims 4 shoe on them, because you don't have to worry about doing like left and right and whatnot in the constraints. You can just do shoes, and then you can parent it with an empty group, and then you can do, where is it? There we go. You can do that, and then you can go to the modifier, and then for this one, I think it's like interchangeable, so you can hit apply and then do rig for that one for the geo skin, and it should work just fine. If not, then I can fix that. But for the shoes, it's easier to do it with the data transfer than it is to do like an individual left and right and whatnot. And then so you do generate data layers, and then you'll hit apply. So now we have, oh wait, no. And then for the hair, make sure when you're doing the hair, you click just like this. So you don't have to choose, you don't have to like select all of these. You just need to choose like the scalp basically. And then so you would do the same thing. You would click that, then click rig, and then you would parent it on there, and then it's underneath. So right now we have everything parented to the rig using empty groups. So for the hair, you want to make sure that the armature is with the rig and whatnot. And then so you're going to go to constraints. Some people already, like some creators already have it to where they already have this set up for you. So all you have to do is just put your sim here, and that'll be it. But for our case, since we are working with, you know, our 3D models, we would do rig. And then we would you type in head, and then you would use the second option where it's C_head.x. And then from there, you would do normalized weights. Now for Daz characters, I don't know how the bones are set up. I feel like they're similar. So you just have to find what like the head is called for your model basically. So, so yeah, so that's what you would do for the hair and whatnot. So when you normalize the weights and you apply it, I'll show you that now it'll move the head, and yeah, so you don't have to worry about that. Okay, now going back to like the clothing and accessories and like even the shoes, you only have to do this step once. You only have to do the step once. But if you were to like exit out and then come back and put on like another piece of item and whatnot, you would have to do like the data transfer over again and then this step. So I'm going to click on the accessory right here. And I'm going to go to weight paint, and I'm going to go to weights, and then I'm going to go to transfer weights. And then from here, we go to vertex mapping, and we change it to nearest interpolated. And then for destination layers, we go from active layer to all layers. Now this sets all the layers for all pieces. So you only have to do this step once. You don't have to worry about doing it again and whatnot. And so we go back to object mode, and then I'll go back to pose mode. And then I'll show you now that all the pieces are now connected to her. So the armband is moving with her arms, and then we're gonna have her top moving, you know, with the rest of her body and whatnot. For the shoes, what's gonna have to happen is when you have shoes and you put them in like, and you try to like put them like in like the form of the shoe, it's not going to be perfect. You can do extra editing to like bring in the shoes to make it look more like form-fitting and whatnot, but like I said, because the Sims characters and then our characters look different, like it's not going to be perfect. But I mean, that's where you just kind of have to finesse it and then do the best you can. But the best way to go about this, so that to make sure the shoes go about it, you have to change the pose for this rig. And so what I mean by that is you have to go into your Auto Rig Pro, and how you like have this like set up and whatnot, make sure you like select all of it, and then right here under rig, you're going to see where it says apply pose as rest pose. I'm not going to click it because I'm not sure if I want to use these shoes for this outfit for her. But what this would do, it'll reset the pose. So it'll reset it'll reset the pose just for the feet and whatnot. And so once you reset the pose, actually, I'm gonna just show you, because just in case you run into problems, I'm just gonna show you. So I'm gonna do apply as rest pose, and then you're gonna hit OK. And depending on like how heavy like the clothes are, the clothes here and like that stuff, it takes a minute. Usually I don't have to deal with any crashes when it does happen, but sometimes, you just never know. And so you'll get to this point and whatnot, and so from here you'll hit match to rig. That's all you have to do. Make sure you hit match to rig, and so it'll keep this pose for your character. Another option for shoes, depending on like what the shoe is, like say like you have like thigh boots, like a heel or a flat high boot for like character, and like just in the feet like vibrating. And either you can go into the sculpting and grab the grab tool and then like kind of push the feet into the shoe, or and you can delete the mesh, basically. You can delete the mesh. I don't recommend deleting the mesh, just and get kind of wonky from there. So if you can like grab it and just kind of like finesse it how you need to, like that would work better for you. One shoe that I recommend always, like when you choose the position, I recommend always saving like that as a second copy, so it doesn't overwrite the main screen. So after this, I'll save this as like Mima like with heels. So I'll show you. So this is saved, everything's good, and I'm gonna go back to object mode. So I'm gonna go to save as, and then I'm going to have Mima and Sims 4 pose, and I'm just gonna put with heels so that I don't have to, so this won't be overwritten by accident. And so this is saved and I'm good and whatnot. And then so when I move, oh, and then sometimes when you adjust, when you reset like to like a new pose and whatnot, sometimes like you lose the squares on the knee joint. You would just go to tool, and then you would go to snap I to FA, and you would just do that for both sides, so that it comes back and she has her knees, her knee joints. And so now the shoe moves with the foot. And yeah, so that's basically it for like parenting and like adding Sims clothes and whatnot. You just have to like follow those steps. And if you have any questions or anything, like I said, just let me know about that. And so now we'll move on to the tattoos. So she has a few on her. So she has this one, and then she has this one here. She has another one on this side. It might not show. Oh, she has this one, and then she has a back tattoo. And so for tattoos, what you do is you would use texture paint, basically. And so you would click on the body of the character and then go to texture paint. And then from here, you would go to texture at the bottom with this like checkerboard. And then you would hit new. I usually get all my tattoos from Pinterest. I just look up like if I'm looking for like a heart tattoo, I would do like heart and then do like PNG. And then like I just kind of go from there. And then just to make sure the background's like gone for sure, I run it through Canva to delete the background. I'm pretty sure there's like free options if you don't have Canva. Pretty sure there's free options that you can use, but make sure like you remove the background. So when you bring it into Blender, you would hit open, and then I need to find her tattoos. Okay, so yeah, so for instance, we'll do the bear tattoo. So it'll show up like this here and whatnot, and then you would just keep this, and then there's extra settings underneath the tool up here where like you don't necessarily have to worry about this. I think this needs to be a different color. I'm not sure why that is that. I think it needs to be black, and it should show up. The only things that I change that would help out is the fall off. For one, change it from custom to constant. So when you put it on your character, it's like consistent. It's just consistent. It doesn't look like faded out in some areas and then like more clearer in the other. And so I would change that. And then I also change my blend. Sometimes I keep it at mix. If not mix, I will change it to multiply. And then so what you'll do, like you'll just adjust the size of like the circle, and then you would just paint it where you want to. And then so yeah, so like say I wanted it here, like I could leave it there and whatnot. And if I wanted it darker, I can like do it like a second time. Actually, let me back out some. So when you zoom in, it makes it smaller, but when you zoom out, it makes it like bigger and whatnot. And so after you place a tattoo like where you wanted it to go and whatnot, you have to go into UV editor, and you see how it shows up here like on her skin and whatnot. Where it says image, you're going to see this little asterisk. That means you need to save it. And so for this, you would hit image, and then you would do save as, and then you would save it where you need to save it at and whatnot. And from there, it'll be saved onto like that skin and whatnot. And so when you go into like to render and whatnot, like it'll be there. If you don't save it, it's not going to show up. So you make sure you save it when you're like applying tattoos and whatnot, because like I said, if you don't save it, it's not going to show up, and then all your progress won't be gone, but it's just going to be like annoying for sure. But yeah, so that's how you do everything for your character, putting on Sims clothes and stuff like that. Oh, before I'm done, I will show you how nails work. So let me see. Nails are pretty simple. It's just really tedious. Like that's really all that it comes down to. It's just really tedious. So if you get like so So these are going to be a pain just because they're not individual. Some of them are individual, some aren't. So let me see if I can work with these. If not, then I may just have to get another pair. Yeah, we're just going to get another pair. I'm not going to deal with these right now. Okay, so if they're like, depending on the creator, they would come like separately by finger, which helps out a lot. And so you would click on the one that you need. So you would click on it and then you would like drag it like towards your character and whatnot. And you would try your best to like fit it on the nail. It's not going to be a perfect match, but I mean, depending on like how much you want to mess with it, you can get it to be perfect. But yeah, so you would like kind of line it up to the nail. And then you can like reshape it and whatnot. I'm not sure why I'm trying to do this so perfect because I'm taking these off, but I just wanted to show you. Like I said, it can be a pain, and I'm not going to sit here and stress too much about it. So this is just for demonstration. Okay, and so let's just say like I have it on here. We're gonna leave it at that. What helps me is what I like to do, like when I'm doing like the fingers and whatnot. I like to click on the rig, and then I go to data, and then I go to viewport display, and then I go to names, and then so it gives me the names of like all the joints and bones and stuff like that. And then so the fingertip is C index 3.L. And so I would hit the nail. Well, first you would hit the nail, and then you would hit the rig with control, and then P, and then with empty groups. And then you would hit the nail again. If you have two armatures, armature 1 is going to be applied. And then for this armature, you're going to hit rig. You don't have to worry about data transfer for nails. For nails, you are more concerned with constraints. And so from there, you go to constraints, then armature, add target bone, and then object would be the rig. And then the bone would be the index finger. So it would be C index 3L. And then you would do normalized weights, leave it, don't apply it, just leave it as it is. And then click on the rig, and then to know that you've done it right, it will move with the finger. And yeah, see? It moves with the finger. And yeah, and so you would have to do that, unfortunately, for like all the fingers. Same thing with the toes, I think, as well. Honestly, I'm not sure how the feet go, to be honest with you, because they're not individually like named, like after you re-rig it like it is for the fingernail. So I'm not sure how that would work. I'm pretty sure you might have to finesse it, or you could probably do a data transfer for the toes. Honestly, you could probably do a data transfer for the toes like you do for like the clothes and accessories and whatnot, and it should work. I feel like it should work. I don't see why I wouldn't. But yeah, that is everything for character creator and whatnot. So yeah, you can also change the eyes, but that's like a whole different tutorial in itself. and it's kind of hard to show when I've already changed her eyes, but I think Reallusion has a video on how to change eyes and teeth and whatnot, and so I would follow that video. If you don't like the eyes your characters come with, you can change them for this free asset called Tiny Eyes. You can find it on Gumroad. I use those and I just change them how I need to and whatnot. And they're pretty cool. So yeah, I like those. But yeah, that's all there is to it and whatnot. It's just that. If you're more advanced with like Photoshop or like Procreate, you can always take like the skin. If you want to do like more intricate tattoos, you can take the skin and export it into those programs and then like add the tattoos there, and then like you can change the skin. I don't know if you know how to change the skin, but if you click on body, you can go to shader editor, and then you would just change the diffuse, and then where's the normal map? And then the normal map right here. Sometimes you don't have to change the normal map. Usually it's just the main diffuse that you would have to change, and you have a diffuse for like everything, for like, so for the head, the body, the arms, the legs, the nails, and then even like the eyelashes. So like for like the tattoos, like if you didn't want her like well your character, like she had like a tattoo here and whatnot, you can change it by like going to like, you would hit the folder and it would open the folder to where like all the skins are and whatnot. And then so like if you took the default skin out and then like a tattoo, and then you bring it back in, you can use that here. You would just open it, find it, and then yeah, and just go from there. So yeah. Oh, and if you're trying to do like earrings or like a necklace or anything like that, you would do how you do the nails is the same way you would do earrings and a necklace. For the earrings, you would do the head option like you would for the hair. You would just place the earrings on the ear and then do the head option. And then for the neck, you do the C_neck.x. And yeah, so you just follow those steps and whatnot. Same thing for like rings. You know, you do the same thing for the nails you do for rings. You just have to find the right joint in the constraints, and you just add it there. Same thing for like bracelets or like anklets or just about anything you can. Well, actually, I'm not going to say anything. For rings, you can use the constraints. For like bracelets and like anklets and whatnot, I would use a data transfer because it would just be easier than trying to find the joint. I feel like it moves better when it's done as a data transfer than when it's done as like a constraint and you're trying to find like the bone for it. So yeah, I think that's about it for this video and for everything. If you have any more questions, just let me know and I will help you out the best I can.